Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rosie. If you are new here, please do subscribe. So happy new year. We're finally in 2021 and 2020 was quite a ride. I kind of had some highs and lows, so I really wanted to do a kind of overview video and kind of review my year and what I did, the highs and the lows, and kind of just talk about everything, I don't know, so I can look back on it, maybe it's informative for you guys. And at the end, I'm going to share a couple of lessons as well that I've learned this year. So in terms of my personal life, I did have some highs and some lows. One of my lowest lows was the miscarriage I had in April. Now this was a missed miscarriage. So I was, so basically the baby stopped growing at 6 weeks, and then at 11 and a half weeks was when I actually had the miscarriage. We went and had scans, and obviously this was mid-COVID as well. So it was kind of crazy in terms of, you know, wearing a mask in the taxi to the doctors, Jeremy not being able to come in for the scans, just being scared of like touching anything and everything, and also being pregnant during that time was obviously scary as well. We had our first scan, I believe, at like 7 or 8 weeks, and they said the baby was at 6 weeks. So then I was really confused in terms of dates and how that could happen. Went back again 2 weeks later, and they said the baby had, or maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, they said the baby's heartbeat had stopped and it was still measuring the size of 6 weeks. So I'd had a missed miscarriage. We talk about this in one of our podcast episodes that we did last year. I'll leave the link below. It was a 4-part series in October for Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. So we talked about my first miscarriage, my abortion, my second miscarriage, kind of third loss, and then also my missed miscarriage from this year. So that's linked below if you want to know more, kind of about the whole story. But yeah, that was kind of hard because obviously not being with family and not really being able to see friends as well. We were quite isolated in that time. I feel like I feel like the whole world actually kind of went into lockdown in March. I feel like March for a couple of months was kind of, you know, people were being careful and being locked away and things. So being pregnant, but also not knowing, you know, I feel like after 3 losses anyway, being pregnant was super scary. And I was just, every single day I was grateful for that one single day that I was pregnant. Every week as well that went, I was grateful for that week that had passed. But then obviously getting the scans and having to go to the doctors and all that kind of thing was very scary during COVID. And to then also lose the baby as well was not great. Yeah, that's probably one of my lowest points this year. It took me a couple of weeks to kind of get over that, and kind of, it's a hard one. It's something you don't ever really get over, but you just kind of learn to move on, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So that happened in April. Another one of the kind of lower points as well this year was not being able to go home for my grandma's 90th birthday. So she turned 90 in September. And I really that was my one goal this year, was to get home and see her for her birthday and have like a glass of champagne and a little dance and just really celebrate that with her. And obviously not being able to see her has been really hard this year. So I really can't wait to go and see her this year. But that really was kind of one of the hardest points this year, I think, was not being able to spend time with her and celebrate with her. So I would say that those were 2 of the kind of low moments in my life this year. But in the grand scheme of things, it really wasn't that bad compared to what a lot of people went through this year with COVID. Now, I know that people kind of were, you know, having to work at home and look after children at the same time, and people dying from it and getting ill and having to deal with not seeing family and friends and being isolated, people living alone, losing jobs. Like, it has been a crazy, crazy year. And I'm so, so thankful and grateful that honestly not a lot changed for us, apart from obviously having to go through the miscarriage and things during the pandemic was not fun. And obviously not being able to see my family and celebrate my grandma's 90th birthday. But I'm just so thankful that everyone's still healthy and alive and well. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned this year, is just kind of to be grateful for everyone that you have in your life and for everyone to be healthy and happy. So that was kind of the two down points, I guess, this year. But I've had a lot of highs as well. And I think a lot of them are kind of to do with business. I'm going to move on to business now. So we started the podcast in February, which has been amazing. We've released an episode every single Wednesday. It's called Just Interesting People Podcast. It's on Spotify, Google, all the kind of podcast platforms, I guess. And it's just been amazing talking to so many different people. So we've spoken to somebody who was a monk in a monastery for 2 years, somebody who survived 9/11, somebody who got shot 23 years ago, now lives in a wheelchair, somebody who, I don't know, just lots of different inspiring people, like some good stories, some bad stories, but it's really interesting to learn from different people and to hear their stories and to kind of, I guess, learn their lessons from them, if that makes sense. So if you're interested in listening to that, I will leave it linked below. If you want to listen to it and leave us a review, that would really help us out as well. It's nice to kind of see it growing every month and see more people listening to it. And honestly, we do it mostly for us. We're not bothered about getting it monetized, we're not bothered about the listens and kind of how many people tune in. It's actually just really nice for us to record episodes, and I think the thing that I've noticed as well about the podcast is it gives us a platform to ask people really deep questions. So, okay, talk to me about when you were an alcoholic and depressed. Talk to me about like your abuse as a child, or talk to me about these really deep issues. And you kind of have a safe space to ask questions that you wouldn't necessarily ask somebody. I think that's been really, really valuable for me and Jeremy, to listen to these stories and to learn from them and empathise and kind of just realise how lucky we are to have such a privileged and such a lovely life that we've never really gone through. I mean, apart from a child loss, our infant loss stories, we've never particularly gone through anything crazy. So yeah, it's been really, really interesting talking to all these different people and feeling inspired by them as well, whether that is a good thing or a bad thing. Something awful happened and then they changed their life around, or something good happened and how they've learned from, how they've grown from that and used that to their advantage. It's just been really, really nice to talk to them. So that has been amazing. I also started YouTube properly. So yeah, I remember I uploaded my first YouTube video about 4 years ago. No, more than that. 5 or 6 years ago. I've wanted to do it since at least 10 years. No, probably about 8 years I've wanted to do it. I uploaded my first video about 5 years ago. Overnight it got 400 views. I freaked out, deleted the video, never told anyone about it, never told Jeremy, never told my family and friends. I was just so embarrassed and scared. I don't know what I was scared of, I was scared. And then when we moved to Miami, I was like, okay, I really want to document this process and kind of, be able to look back on our time in Miami and see what we do, our first time visiting places, my reactions, life in Miami, what we eat, where we go, who we hang out with, all these kind of things. And I remember I started videoing it and putting videos on YouTube. And we went home, I think kind of 8 months after being in Miami. And one of my friends said to me, oh my God, you're doing YouTube. They're so, the videos are crap. Why are you bothering? They're not even funny or entertaining or something. And it really, really hit me. And I was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. He said it in front of a group of people. And I thought he was a good friend. Said it in front of a group of people. And it kind of knocked my confidence a lot. And then I thought, well, I'm not going to do it anymore. It's too embarrassing to have people watching my crappy videos that aren't funny and aren't entertaining and aren't informative or anything. So I stopped for about 2 years. A year and a half, so that was probably summer 2018. So about a year and a half I didn't do YouTube because I was so embarrassed and scared of that criticism again and kind of people judging me for what I wanted to do. And it was only really this year, I think after spending time with people who inspired me last year, so some of my friends, Carlos, Maria, Jeremy, Abraham, lots of different people in Miami, seeing them doing what they want to do, like people saying, I want to be TikTok famous, I want to have 100,000 on Instagram, I want to make $1 million in 5 years. People with big ambitions and people who do want to be on social media inspired me to kind of be myself and do what I want to do as well. So big shout out to them if they're watching. So yeah, I decided last year to start YouTube properly and actually take it seriously. So I did my first video, I think it was published the last weekend of January, and I decided to upload 3 times a week for the whole year. Now, I didn't upload in April because obviously I was pregnant and not sure what was going on, and the baby had issues and I had the miscarriage and all that stuff. So I think I uploaded 1 or 2 videos in April. But apart from that, I uploaded 3 videos every single week. In December, I uploaded 5 a week for 3 weeks. And that got kind of crazy because I was doing my YouTube 5 videos a week. I was also doing my online program, which was about 3 or 4 videos a week, plus planning that and all the content and the homework and all the assignments and everything with that. Plus I was doing the podcast and just trying to just get by, I guess. So I had a lot going on. So I did that for 3 weeks. And then the last week of December, I think I uploaded 1 or 2. I didn't upload on the 1st, which was on Friday, just because I just didn't. Honestly, I just didn't. I just couldn't be bothered. And that sounds really bad because it's the first the first day of the year and it was a Friday, so I should have uploaded, but I didn't. So anyway, from Monday onwards, from this video onwards, I'm going to be uploading 3 videos a week for the whole year. I'm not sure if I'm going to do Vlogmas again because that was a lot, and I didn't even vlog every day. I was just doing 5 videos a week in terms of Christmas gift guides and vlogs and any kind of Christmassy fun videos I wanted to do. It was fun. I just think 5 was a lot, along with everything else that I was also doing. Oh, and photo shoots as well. I was doing photo shoots, obviously Christmas shoots, with my dog photography, so that was just a crazy couple of weeks there. So yeah, it's been really, really nice to watch my YouTube grow. I'm now at 433 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed, please do. That really, really, honestly, it's like every time someone subscribes, I'm like, yes, 1 more, that's amazing. And I'm almost there with my watch hours in order to get monetized as well. So it's really, really exciting. I can't wait for that to happen and to see my YouTube channel grow. I'm going to do a whole video talking about my 2020 YouTube experience, like how many subscribers I've got, how many watch hours I got, how many views I got on certain videos, the analytics, and kind of look into the behind the scenes of my channel, because I think that's going to be really interesting. And I might even start doing monthly ones. I thought about doing this right at the beginning, but honestly up until June there was nothing really to track anyway, whereas June to December it's just skyrocketed. It's been amazing. So I might do monthly ones of those. Let me know in the comments if you would like that as well. But that's been one of the highlights of the year, I think, has been YouTube, and just feeling more confident and comfortable with it as well, learning about lighting, learning about camera equipment and editing and tags and all the rest of it that goes behind the scenes in YouTube. I've kind of learned all of that this year. And if you look back at my videos from last year, I was just so nervous in front of the camera. Like, I had to be perfect. I had a full face of makeup on every time, and like I was really trying my best, but I just had no idea. So I feel a lot more comfortable and confident now. I obviously still have some ways to go, but we're getting there. The next thing obviously I did was starting my program. So I'm a dog photographer. I do that full time, and I'll just show you a quick photo. I've got one here. This is one of the dogs that I photographed, and this is the kind of work that I do. So on a nice white background, really clear, beautiful photographs. So I started doing that about 2 years ago in February 2018. 2019. February 2019 I started. And then last year in 2020, it's weird to say last year even though it's kind of this year, last year in 2020 I decided to do a online dog photography program teaching people how to be dog photographers, and it's been so amazing to write down all of my information, all my knowledge onto a program, and doing videos and teaching people how they can start their own business, how they can be dog photographers and have a job that they enjoy and they can make good money from as well. So it's been really, really amazing. I had one person so far go through the whole program. I've got some sales calls booked in for January. Hopefully I'll get some of those signed up as well. But again, it's been such a big learning experience in terms of trying to teach what you know in a way that makes sense and it's not too complicated, and you're only talking about what, you know, the relevant information, not just the whole history of photography ever. So that's been really, really nice. And in order to do that, in order to help me move forwards with that, I hired a coach, and this is the first time I've ever hired a coach or spent money kind of on business development, personal development kind of things. So I paid my friend Abraham to go through his fundamentals program. This is a program teaching how to set up an online course or an online program and how to sell it and market it as well, and how to get it's basically how to sell a course with a good amount of money. So it's not just like a $100 photography course. You know, it's an investment. It's expensive, but the amount of information in the program is so worth it, because once you do my program, you can start to be a dog photographer after 6 weeks and start earning money. And yeah, it's just been really amazing to hire someone on to help me do that, to help keep me accountable, to help me in terms of marketing, to help me in terms of the sales calls as well, which was really important. I was terrible and I was terrified for the first couple. I was like shaking, like my voice was shaking, and I was super nervous to talk to people. So having somebody there to kind of coach you through that and talk to you about where you could have done better or worse, or like, you know, things to improve on, that's been really, really good at this year. It's kind of been one of my highlights as well, is having somebody, I guess having the finances to be able to hire someone to help me to move my business forward and then to earn more money as well in the long run, because without him I wouldn't have started straight away. I probably wouldn't have had that person sign up. I wouldn't know how to get other people signed up. I wouldn't know about organising the whole thing. So it's just been really, really amazing. I think I want to do more videos talking about it as well, because it's been quite a process for me to try and put it all together, and I don't know. Anyway, so if you are interested, I don't know what I'm doing my hair here. So if you are interested in being a dog photographer, I'll leave my email here on screen, and we can kind of set up a call and talk about what I do and what you do and the whole process. I can tell you all about the program. So that has been kind of all the business things we've been doing this year. Obviously I've sold things on Etsy as well. I've sold some presets. I'm thinking about doing a video as well talking about side hustles, or what's it called? Having like multiple streams of income in your life, and how to like work with, how to get money from different places basically. I'm gonna do a whole video on that as well. In terms of travel, it wasn't really the year of travel. So we had planned to go to Australia in May for our 10-year anniversary. Me and Jeremy met there 10 years ago, so we wanted to go back and do a photo shoot and go to Sydney and see our friends in Melbourne, I think he is. That didn't happen obviously because of COVID, but we did manage to go to Puerto Rico in January with some friends. So they were trying to organise some sort of retreat, and they kind of took us there to, I guess, test the waters a little bit. So we went for about 4 days. I think it was like a long weekend. Went to El Yunque National Forest, which was beautiful. If you've never been there, I highly recommend going there. It was really, really gorgeous. Just had a really nice time connecting with them, hiking, being out in nature, being in the only rainforest in the States, actually. Yeah, incredible. If you can go to Puerto Rico, I highly recommend it. We then went to Naples in, I believe it was May time. No, July. It was for the 4th of July weekend. Went to Naples, which is the southwest of Florida, so the other side to Miami. It was nice to get away. It was nice to have a break. It was nice to be with Jeremy and kind of be on vacation, so not be sat in front of the computer or camera and doing things like that. It was nice to kind of get away. I wouldn't probably super recommend Naples area. It was nice, but it just wasn't for me. And then in November we went to Key West. So we'd also actually booked to go to Chicago in June to go to see a concert that Jeremy wanted to go and see. I can't remember who it was now. But we bought our flights, so then we got our money back from the flight. So we got some sort of like a voucher, I guess, for the price of the flights. So we decided to use that money and go to Key West in November for Jeremy's birthday. I booked him a skydive, which was amazing, so much fun. He jumped out of the plane and I could hear him shouting from 10,000 feet in the air, whatever it is, and I was on the floor watching. I could hear him screaming before I could even see him in the sky. But we paid for the photos and videos, which was amazing. I'm so glad we did that because we've got that memory kind of on file and kept forever. So that was really nice to do that for him. And kind of, Key West is such a nice place to go and relax. We paid for it was a nice motel that had a swimming pool, and it was nice to kind of get up and go for brunch in the mornings and just walk around and eat lots of food and drink some alcohol and have a good time and just be fun and be on vacation, because it has been quite a difficult year for a lot of people, like I said. So it was really nice having that kind of couple of days away. I think it was about a week we went away maybe. It was really nice to have that time to kind of disconnect, chill out, nap, sleep in. We were going to bed at like 9:30 p.m. because we were walking around all day and tired from that. We went jet skiing as well, which was amazing. I love jet skiing. I literally thought I was going to die. I recorded the whole Key West trip and the Puerto Rico trip. I did a vlog from that. I haven't edited either of those. I'm still editing my Cuba videos from November 2019. So as soon as my Cuba trip is done, I'm also going to do my Puerto Rico trip and my Key West trip. I did already edit and upload my Naples vlogs. I'll leave them linked below if you want to watch those. But yeah, it's not been crazy travel, but it has been nice to get away. And I feel like even if you do a staycation, even if you go to a town nearby and stay in a hotel and just be a tourist, it is so nice to have, just to feel like you're away and to get different scenery, because obviously we don't have a car. We were kind of scared in going in taxis and Ubers and things, and like once you walk around your neighborhood for months on end, you can just kind of get sick of it. So it was really nice to kind of get away and just to see different scenery and eat new foods and just enjoy ourselves. So that's been the travel this year. I guess obviously the global things, so obviously the pandemic has been crazy. I remember at the start I don't think I knew how serious it was going to be. I kind of found it funny, if I'm honest, that my parents were being so scared, and then now I'm like, okay, yeah, you had reason to be scared. So obviously the pandemic happened, and then also George Floyd's murder and the Black Lives Matter movement and all that going on. That was also crazy for me to see as a white person who has never experienced racism. And I feel like it's different here in the States than it is in Europe as well. Like, it's just different, the relationship between the police and black people. I'm not saying there isn't racism in Europe, obviously there is, but it's just different here. So being here in with the thick of it, with, you know, the riots and the protests and everybody talking about it and the conversations that were happening, it was really interesting. And it was like a smack in the face, honestly. It was kind of like, wake the fuck up, this happens all the time. And I had no idea, honestly. I knew, like, you hear about racism, you know it happens, but you never, I think unless you experience it or unless you witness it, like that video of George Floyd was disgusting. And it's only when you see something so shocking like that that you realise what it's like. And it shouldn't have taken that for white people to wake up and realise what's happening. And what's crazy is actually how much it's calmed down since then. One of my goals for next year is to read more books about Black Lives Matter and about people's experiences with that. I wanted to do it this year. I didn't end up doing a lot of reading this year. But hopefully I'll do that next year and learn a lot more and try and just be more educated, I guess, and I don't know, just do my best to help in any way I can. So that happened, and obviously the new president, the presidential elections, that was crazy, that happening here as well again. So when we went traveling to either Key West or Naples, we'd see either Trump signs or Biden signs, and kind of, you know, talking to friends about what they think, or talking to different people, and like the adverts I would get on YouTube, I would either get Trump or Biden adverts depending on, I don't know why I got both actually. You'd think they would target it to people who they think would vote for whoever it was, but yeah, that happened. I'm not going to get political, but it was a good thing. So yeah, some of the lessons that I've learned this year. So the first one I learned is to travel to places when you can, and don't wait until next year, until this, until that. I feel like just go as and when you can, because you never know when either your health might be sacrificed or travel is completely banned from the world. Like, we had no idea last January that the world would be like this now. So I feel like, you know, if you really want to go somewhere, try and book it in ASAP, and just make sure you go. Don't put it off for 5 years time, or next year, this year, whatever it is. Just try and go to places and travel, because I feel like travel is, it's definitely one of my favourite things to do, and it's where I learn the most, I guess. So don't wait till next year to travel. Travel, I mean, obviously now with COVID it's different, but I think just travel when you can is the main thing. The next one is to put yourself out there and learn as you're doing. So this this was basically my thing for this year. So obviously with the podcast, with YouTube, with my program, all three of these things I hadn't really done before, but I just started and did it, and just see what happens, learn on the go. So obviously with my first YouTube videos last year, my camera was crap, my lighting was crap, my editing was crap, me being on camera was crap. Like, it just wasn't good, but I started, and then I learned as I went on, and hopefully my quality now is better than it was. Probably I've still got some improvement to do, but I feel like that was a huge lesson for me. The podcast as well, I remember my first podcast episode, I was so nervous. I was like scared of saying the wrong thing. Every single episode I say something wrong, or I forget what I'm saying. It happens, I'm human. But I remember at the beginning I'd really beat myself up about it, I'd really panic about it, but actually it's just normal, it's just part of being human. So that's been a huge learning curve. And then again with the program, I've never taught anybody anything. So to get down all my information onto a program and be able to teach people that, I'm only on version 1, so obviously I might have to make some improvements for the next version, version 2 and version 3 and so on. But I think just having that idea, I would like to do this, and then just starting, it's never going to be perfect. You're never going to, you know, do the best thing in the world the first time you try it. But I think as long as you start and just practice, and keep putting in the effort and the energy, and yeah, just try, honestly, just try and learn as you go. And then the third one, I think, is to have big goals. So last year, so in 2020, one of my friends at his birthday told me that he wants to make $1 million in the next 5 years. And I was literally like, oh my God, what? So yeah, I feel like this year, last year, sorry, I've really been exposed to more people with big dreams, and it's amazing to watch. So people like Catherine Manning is a huge inspiration for me. We actually interviewed her on my podcast as well, just interesting people. But talking to her and also watching her now, so this year she went from 40,000 subscribers to 300,000, and she's made over $200,000 from her YouTube videos, and she's just absolutely killing it. She's doing so well. So it's amazing seeing people talking about finances and talking about their goals as well. I feel like people are very scared to talk about money, which means that I've been very scared to talk about money and actually have goals and ambitions and want to earn money, because no one talks about it. I never really knew what was possible. So I think that's been a big thing, is to have big dreams, because people achieve them. I think is when you set out dreams and goals and actually write them all down, which is going to be another video talking about how I'm planning my 2021 and how I'm going to stay organised in my dreams and goals and ambitions and everything. I feel like when you surround yourself with people who are entrepreneurs, who are creatives, who are leaders, who are coaches, you know, people who want to do well and succeed and be successful and have lots of money and lots of this and that and the other, lots of abundance of everything, that's when you can start to grow yourself as well and feel like, oh, well, if they can do it, I can do it as well. So I've learned to have big dreams, have big goals, and to do my best, basically. And it's crazy. I feel like if I look back at myself from 2020, January 2020, I was still, you know, kind of had to be perfect on YouTube, even though it was, I really wasn't. Always had lots of makeup on, always very self-conscious and doubting myself a lot, and I didn't really have big goals, whereas this year I have big goals and I can't wait to make them come true. It's not even an if, it's kind of like I can't wait to do it. So it was actually really nice. So I spent New Year's Eve, which was kind of I guess like the last night of the year. I spent New Year's Eve with some friends and we went through in a big circle. I think it was about 10 of us, went through in a circle one by one and talked about things that we are leaving behind in 2020 and things we are bringing forward to 2021. And I thought that was a really nice way to listen to everybody else's experiences and also reflect on our year as well. And I said that I want to leave behind self-doubt because I think I can't do something and then I try it and I can do it, as proven with the podcast, the YouTube, the program, you know, all these different things. I think to myself, oh, I couldn't possibly do that. Well, how could I do that? It's just me. I try it and then I do it. So if you're listening to this and watching this, just try it, just do it, honestly. And the things that I'm bringing forward into 2021 is lots of money, lots of love, lots of travel, lots of happiness and friendship. Those are going to be, they will be important this year. Yeah, I'm excited for this year. I'm excited to see what happens because I'm going to do a video as well talking about my 2020, but I kind of have no idea what we're going to be doing at the end of the year. Like, we know we're going to be here for the next 4 months. Then we're going to go traveling and I have no idea what's going to happen after that. So I'm excited to see. I'm excited to adventure and to have fun and to learn more and to grow more and yeah, just crush it. So that was my 2020 year in review. Had some ups and downs, mostly ups I think, and I think the amount of personal growth has been amazing. Like, I just feel so much more confident and so much more able to do things, honestly. Yeah, so it's been good. Let me know in the comments below your highs and lows, especially your highs. Let's share the highs. Please make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more videos. I'm going to have so much good content coming this year. It's going to be amazing because we're going traveling, obviously. I think it's going to be travel vlogs and hopefully kind of informative travel videos as well, where maybe you can get involved with supporting people and charities and I don't know, who knows? I have no idea. And that's the exciting thing, that's the amazing thing. So bring on 2021. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye!